Hi Mark, lovely to meet up with you on the range and do some work on your game the other day. Just a quick recap on the key points from the session. I mean, first of all was a sort of insight into your ball flight and what's making the ball do what it does through the air. Your initial thoughts were that the golf ball started its journey due to the path of the club and curved due to the blade of the club. By using flight scope and discussing the footage that we were seeing, we came to the conclusion that that's not actually the case. It used to be the way we were taught, but unfortunately it was incorrect and leads to players making incorrect changes when out on the golf course. The golf ball will start in the general direction of the club face and then will bend away from the path. So what we see here on the far left is a player who, in an attempt to try and draw the ball, is going to try and get the club more and more on the inside. That's going to lead to the hips moving in towards the ball, and then releases it quite handsy through impact here in order to bend it back. What we see at the end of your session, albeit from a different top of the backswing position anyway, is a player whose club is coming an adequate amount from the inside. The hips aren't moving in quite as much towards the ball. More importantly, we're a lot quieter with the hands through impact. And when you look at the top players such as Hunter Mayhem, what we see through impact is a nice quiet pass at it with the hands. You can see there not a great deal of forearm rotation. The ball is clearly starting where his club face is pointing. Club face is in this sort of position here. Ball's going to start roughly down the line of his club face. So the club face starts the ball off, the ball then curves away from the path. Now if that's the case, what we then need to do is look at creating a path that comes from the inside, but comes from the inside with a lot less manipulation. What we see here at the start of your session is a takeaway that is very much straight back. As a result, the arms separate from the body, and at the top of the backswing we've got the arms very high. So what we've got is a situation where we've got the shoulders swinging on a flat angle and the arms swinging on an upright angle, and from there it's going to be a real struggle to get that club to come on the inside. What we'd have to do is make quite a shift in the arm plane to get the club, or get the arms back on the circle, if you will. If we take a little look here at Hunter Mayhem and have a little look at what's happening, as he takes the club back, it comes back slightly on the inside. More importantly, so does the left arm. We can see here that halfway back, left arm in across the chest, and the hands hitting the base of the right bicep. So arms have definitely worked in. As a result, the shoulder plane is a little bit steeper. Whereas with yourself, if we look at your halfway back initially at the start of your session, shoulder plane quite flat and the arms certainly not in. We've got the arms way out in front of us. Because the arms have worked in on the way back, as he gets to the top of the backswing, we see a situation where the arm plane and the shoulder plane are very similar, as opposed to the contrast that we see here with yourself, where arm plane and shoulder plane are very different. As his left arm continues to swing across his chest, that gives the impression that the arms are swinging a little bit more upright, but that's not actually the case. Now as he comes down, the arms can stay on the inside without any manipulation, allowing that player to turn through the ball properly. What you see with yourself is a player who, if he was to just clear, will get the club way out in front of him and hit big cuts, if not a shank. And what we're going to see now is an attempt to drop that club on the inside, but we never really get it inside enough. If we compare that position there to what we see here with Hunter, arms much more in. Remember when we demonstrated the fact that the straight line takeaway may feel wide, but is actually not wide? Well, the same rule applies in the downswing. The arms being in creates a little bit more width to the arc, as we come through. So if we watch how you progress now during your session, just get rid of some of these lines for you. Start the session, take you about halfway back, hands and arms very much out in front of you. Early on in your session, trying to get the arms to work in a little bit more. What we've got there is the clubs working in, but the arms aren't. Towards the end of your session, this is much better. The feeling you've got here is that you're just pulling your arms in, as you can see there with your rehearsal. The actual swing itself, much better at that point. So we've gone from having an arm position here, here, to here. And long term, what we're looking for is this. Very, very similar towards the end of your session. So at this stage, I would suggest that you can't pull your arms in enough. If we then take a little look at where you went from there, arms started to continue up, left shoulder very high. If we watch this one now, arms work in a little bit more, and then if we look at this final footage, arms work in considerably more. As a result, top of the backswing, hands very high, arms running through the base of your neck. This one here, arms midway between neck and shoulder, and this one here, arms more through the shoulder. So a completely different top of the backswing position. It still needs a little bit of work. We can work on the position of the shaft as we go, but we're looking much more similar to what we see here on the far right, where the shoulder plane and the arm plane match up. The pitch of the shoulders at the top is a little bit steeper than it was at the start of your session. From there, you're in a good position to swing down, and if we just play this back down, I'm just going to take you down to about chest height. We can see here that the arms were way out in front of us, whereas here we're going to see that the arms are much more in, coming into impact. As a result, there's no need to manipulate the club to get it on the inside. It's coming on the inside by default, and from there you can just keep the hands nice and quiet and hit that lovely little draw shot that you were hitting at the end of your session. Hope you enjoyed it. Good luck with it. Swing's coming on a treat, and look forward to doing some more work with you in the coming weeks. Well done.